Alright, welcome everyone to a DragonInWhite stream with the team. Fluffy Goblin is here with us today. We would like to say hi.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Alright, we are back with the weekly stream, and today we'll be talking about Chinese ghosts and playing Valheim at the same time. Mine lead up is a little late. We're not sure if she managed to wake up, but yeah, we'll see. If she joins us, then she joins us, and if she fails to join us, then well, next time. Okay, so our aim for today, aside from talking about Chinese ghosts, is to hopefully get to the point of being able to fight Iktir, cause I really want a pickaxe, and so that we can start building nice Chinese structures around the area, have a nice Chinese village. Well, maybe not a Chinese village yet, cause you're building. What were you building again?
I want to build not just Chinese structures, but also Western structures, so that we can have a compare and contrast between them.
Awesome.
Which we will need nails for both.
And bronze and many other things. So now, refresh my memory. You said something about an L house, was it?
Yes, so the structure I'm currently working on is an L-shaped farmhouse, which is actually quite common in the West and Midwest United States.
Ooh, so how
as
big
well
are
as
they?
otherwhere, I assume. Usually they are 2 stories, and usually they're relatively large.
So larger than the shack we have?
It's a cabin, but no, not quite. Maybe. It depends. I'm not building one necessarily to scale.
Okay.
But this is based off of like one of the houses that I grew up in, which was built in the late 1800s. And that house, the kitchen alone was 17 feet by 14 feet, to give you an idea of the size.
Okay, wait, give me a minute. 17 feet by 14 feet. Divide that by 3. 6 by 4 meters? Something like that. About 3 feet to 1 meter. I know it's not that, but it's about there.
About, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with meters and centimeters. Feet, yards, and inches makes no sense to me.
Only Americans deal with that for some reason. So yeah. Yes, moment for conversion. It was quite large, and granted, the living room is usually treated as kind of the center of the house, but the bedrooms were just as big. So it was a very large, very roomy structure. But it was also built during a time when, a farming family would have anywhere from 4 to 8 kids, and they had to pile in somewhere. So the rooms were big for a purpose.
Cool. Well, so I assume you're going to need a lot of wood for this project, and meanwhile off camera, I did a bit of a deforestation around our cabin. As you can see.
Yes, I did notice there's a lot of wood in the chest.
Yep, so, there for you to use. Have a go at it. The house which I have in mind is definitely larger than the one you're building, and it's going to take stone, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if I can get around to doing that. I might have to do a simplified, something else simpler before I can get to that. But the idea is the house I wanted to build is known as a. I actually have no idea what would it be called in English, but in my translations, I often translate it as a courtyard.
Okay.
So basically,
wait, the house is a courtyard, or
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's a house with an internal garden. If you get what I mean.
Yep.
So basically,
Is it similar to like the Japanese compound idea?
somewhat. Uh, so basically, you have like the main building all the way at the, well, you can call it the back, I suppose. Then there's a kind of a garden over there in front. So that's the inner, inside garden thing. And then you have two wings in a U shape. So, and then possibly it wraps around to form an entire circle. So it's a square shaped thing. And of course, the gates make up one side. You can imagine the gate side wouldn't be housing much, probably storerooms and things like that. So, yeah, that's what we have, a courtyard.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a more official name for it.
Probably, but I'm not sure what it would be. Again, the kind of closest I could think of is, well, what is the name in Chinese for that particular structure?
I honestly cannot recall entirely. It has 4 in it. 是 something 房. So yeah, shouldn't be too complex to build, but for it to look nice, I probably am going to need stone for that. And I believe that takes metal.
Not sure.
Right, come back and
Although
flip.
again, we can build simplified versions.
Yeah, I could always just start with wooden floors first and then upgrade it to stone later on. It's going to take quite a while because I don't exactly have a step-by-step guide, so I'm going to have to do a lot of trial and error in building.
Yeah, that's kind of the same route that I'm going. So, not a bad thing.
Your L house is not supposed to be wood?
Oh no, it is. I mean, it's usually uses nails and whatnot, but it is made primarily from wood.
Yeah, speaking of nails, now that you mention it, this does seem kind of strange, huh? We could build a cabin like this without nails.
I wouldn't necessarily call it strange. There is, like I had mentioned, I believe previously in our last stream, there is a technique in Japan, where they will actually carve their posts and their beams to lock together.
Right.
And the structures that, the structures that they have built with this particular technique have actually lasted for hundreds of years.
But the thing is this also though, with the Japanese, they have this concept of always maintaining the thing. And from what I hear, some of these buildings, what they do is they regularly take it apart and update it, maybe replace a piece here and there. So while we could say last 100 or so years, is it 100 or so years untouched, or?
From what I understand, some of them have been, basic maintenance, but I don't believe they've been dismantled and reassembled. I could be wrong.
Japanese architecture is really quite amazing though, because like a lot of the things are, I'm not sure how true is this, correct me if I'm wrong, but Japanese houses seem easy to put up, well, traditional houses at least, and what I was told was because Japan has a lot of earthquakes, so they need to make sure that things are not too crazy heavy, and every time they collapse they can just rebuild easily. I'm not sure how true this is. It's probably there's probably some something that's not quite right about it, but it does kind of seem that way, paper doors and things like that, wooden frames with lots of holes in them on purpose.
Right.
Ornate carvings,
Rice paper windows, rice paper doors. A lot of that is really easy to kind of just take down and replace when you need to.
Yeah.
Or at least it looks easy. I don't know if it actually is easy. Let me rephrase. I have never had to do it. It's very possible that if I tried to do it without any kind of direction or anything, I would fumble pretty badly. So rice glue is not to be messed with.
Well,
Ah,
rice glue isn't that bad, right?
have you ever messed with rice glue?
I believe we called it starch, hot water, and rice flour.
Uh-oh, I missed.
Yeah,
That
played
neck
around
was
with those.
coming from my neck. I'm not entirely sure how it's made, but I do recall fiddling with it myself, and the results were not desirable.
Might be something different from what I'm thinking about. Because those were what we used
Maybe.
as kids to make masks. So what we did was we blew up a balloon, you know, wet the balloon and then applied a layer of newspaper on it, tear out pieces, cover it, then
Oh, paper mache.
then spread a layer of this starch. We used, I think, rice flour and hot water. Or was it potato flour and hot water? Well, either one works.
I know we used actual, like, just regular wheat flour and water. This paper mache, I think, is universal.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm at a boss, and just so you know, I renamed two of the balls to first ball and second ball, so that
Yeah.
they don't die. Oh,
Okay.
right.
So that we don't inadvertently kill them.
Yeah, kind of commemorate that they were the first. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh,
There we
what?
go. There. It appears that I gotta enable friendly fire in order to damage the balls.
Ah, we should not enable friendly fire.
We got
This is my thought. Why do you have to do it to... Uh-oh, I made a boar angry.
Without enabling it, we can't kill the boss. Then what's the point of even having the boss?
Why is it like that? Because weird. That's weird. All right. Anyway, so we are not on topic yet.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, Chinese ghosts. So firstly, let's start with this.
Chinese ghosts.
What are ghosts?
Spirits of the dead?
Spirits of the dead. Well, according to the Chinese, it's more than just that, but spirits of the dead do make up a very big portion of them. But basically, anything that can be constituted as a ghost are essentially just supernatural beings that are kind of creepy and scary.
All right.
So
does that are we counting monsters in with this? Or are we just talking
yes.
ghosts?
Well, sometimes strange. I can't kill this one for some reason. Oh well, fine. You get to live. Okay. So some monsters actually have the word ghost in them. So
Okay.
I am avoiding some of them, most of them, unless very specific types. So maybe what we can do is remember when we were remember when I was talking about the hell, and there was the messengers of hell, the black and white soul reapers.
Right. Yep.
So those were also categorized as ghosts, and to be fair, their backstory is that they were humans, and that was like kind of their job after they died. It's kind of sad that you have to work after you die.
I mean, ask me after I die.
Well, I don't know. Would you want to work after you die?
Would I want to? No. Would I might end up? Like, is that a potential future for me? Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? But yeah, so the black and white soul reapers are basically a soul that has been given authority within hell, and their jobs is to escort other souls to hell. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And some of them look kind of scary. So remember that I mentioned, I believe the black one is the nice one. If you see him, you've been good, and it means you are likely going to a good place. And if you see the white
White
one,
one's bad news.
yeah, that's bad news. You see white, it's like, oh no, what have I done in my life? Yep. So that is an example of this. Of course, this is just a very quick mention. So now before we actually go on to talking about specific types of ghosts, okay? So what do you think? What do you think being a ghost is like?
I mean, personally, I think being a ghost would be a lot of fun, but that depends on what kind of mythos. There's obviously some mythos where you may be a ghost, but you're only a ghost because you're suffering some sort of torment, be it like that of your sins or that of your guilt, or be it just, you're dead and so now you're in eternal pain kind of thing.
Okay, that's pretty fair. Okay, so now, so let's talk about what exactly a ghost is, at least in the Chinese mythos. So, as mentioned previously, China is a kind of a hot pot of certain religions that's kind of mixed, and because of the local cultures, some of the local cultures has influenced some of this folklore, and religions also influence the folklore. So as a result, for many of these things, there are multiple versions of the same thing out there, each telling a different story. So if you are, if what I'm saying today does not seem to match up with what you know, it could be just that the version I'm telling happens to come from a different influence. And also, like I mentioned, China is huge. A story that comes from the north of China might be different in the south of China. So that
Regional
being said,
differences are absolutely a thing.
yeah. So that being said, don't get mad at me if something I say is different from what you guys have heard before. Of course, I have also spent some time to do some research. To be fair, not super in-depth research, but at the very least, I did look up and check some of the sources. And me being Singaporean, a Chinese Singaporean, okay, you scared me. I thought I left food on there. We still do carry back some of this ghost culture into our culture here, even though we have evolved our own culture separate from China. So no, Singapore is not part of China, for those of you who are wondering. I have had lots of people ask me that, like, which part of China is Singapore? It's like, nope, nowhere near. Okay, so that being said, what are ghosts? Okay, so firstly, we have to understand that I kind of skipped a point. So many of these Chinese stories are influenced mainly by Taoism, Buddhism, local folklores, and also there was this one. I'm not entirely sure of the whole story, but basically there used to be also another form of deity worship that is different from Taoism and Buddhism. It's the worship of heaven, Shangti. Yeah, so as a singular monotheistic god, which is kind of interesting. And there's also Confucianism and a couple others as well. So these are things that influenced a lot of Chinese beliefs, especially about the spiritual matters. And guess what? Guess where ghosts come from? Spiritual matters.
Yep.
So, okay, let's start with this very common understanding. Okay, firstly, the Chinese are big on yin yang and the 5 elements. Okay, everything has a yin, everything has a yang. There is a balance in these two forces in the world, in everything. So the living is seen as the yang, and the dead is seen as the yin. So it's they kind of like, you know, match up with each other to complement each other, and they are meant to exist with each other. That's why you see in cultivation novels, the whole act of cultivating, trying to attain immortality, is actually an act of defiance against the natural order. So which is why, you know, when many of these cultivation stories, whenever they reach the next cultivation level, some of them have to undergo some kind of tribulation in order to, like, as though they're having to pass a test. It's not so much a test, but, you know, they have to pass.
They have to prove themselves.
Yep, and, you know, heaven's just trying to punish them lightly. So that's why it's a tribulation. Yeah. So,
you get the swat on the back of the head for disobeying cosmic rules.
Yep. So, that aside, also, we have the whole concept of souls. Okay, and for some of you who have read the cultivation novels or are familiar with Chinese cultures, there is this concept that we do not just have one soul, but instead we have 10.
Okay.
Okay, so
we have
now
10 souls? Alright.
So these 10 souls are separated into two categories, the Hun and the Po, which is both translated into souls in English. So technically it's not 10 souls, but it's 3 Hun and 7 Po. So basically the Po is the yang aspect, the 7 Po is the yang aspect of the souls, and the 3 Hun is the yin aspect of the souls. Okay? So, one of the things they attributed, like, how do I put it? Like someone in a delirious state or in a coma or something like that, they attributed it to a person missing one or more of their souls. So yeah. So
how does that lead to any kind of like negative treatment on the day-to-day between people?
What do you mean? Like, I mean, all this is spiritual.
Okay, so I guess right. I'm just wondering if like, how does it affect, because you said people with like delirium or people who are in a coma, people who are from like a medical perspective are, you know, suffering from something or having to live with some serious disorder. Does that, the spiritual belief, affect how those people are treated in society?
Firstly, you have to understand, modern medicine and these beliefs don't really mix well together. So
true, yeah, right. I realize. I was just it's curious because and how ingrained is the spirituality, I guess, in how people behave.
Well, I would say that
on a regular basis.
In modern China, not so, because of the...
Also, Prince has a question. Hi, Prince! Yeah. Thank you for joining us!
Yeah.
Does that mean yin and yang is not in balance in regards to soul? That's actually another thing I was wondering, too. If there's 7 of one and 3 of the other, it's not...
I know it doesn't look balanced. I know it doesn't look balanced, but consider that they have different weighting.
Okay.
Like, if you have 10 tomatoes and 1 watermelon, is that an imbalance?
Does that mean that yin is...
No, not necessary. It just could mean that that's of a strong yin nature and the others could be of a weaker yang nature. So they balance in that sense. And there's more than yin and yang at play for this as well, because like the 5 elements also has a part to play.
Right.
Yeah. So, with regards to spirituality and and medicine, especially in modern China, spirituality.
Hold on. Not necessarily modern medicine. I was more of talking about the treatment of people with such disorders in society.
Okay.
Not as much not directly related to medicine.
Okay. So, okay, sure. Well, firstly, we have to consider the current state of the belief in spirituality in China at the very least. Is that because of the Great Revolution, was it the Cultural Revolution or something, the burning of books, the banning of religions? Yes, China actually banned religion at one point of time, completely, even Buddhism and Taoism. Like,
wow.
Yep, literally
That's
nothing.
pretty intense.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so even on a society level, the spirituality isn't as prominent a factor.
Yeah, it's no longer as prominent a factor. But if you were to say in the more older times, or potentially even areas where some of these practices survive, like the rural areas, or potentially even Taiwan and Hong Kong because they were under different management. Yeah, I'm not gonna get started on Taiwan. That's a whole other political issue which I'm not willing to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I agree.
but basically Hong Kong was under British rule and returned to China. So a lot of these spiritual things do exist. They still do live on. Just that in mainland China, it's not as prevalent as how it used to be. So now, taking this into consideration, people will send people who are sick to the doctor.
Right.
So, but that's not to say that spirituality is completely out as well, because traditional Chinese medicine, and could you come back and sleep? Yeah, so now traditional Chinese medicine has its entire basis in the flow of qi and the balance of the 5 elements and yin and yang in your body. That is the entire concept of traditional Chinese medicine. And just so you know, I studied Western medicine, modern medicine in China, but I was still forced to take a couple of modules on traditional Chinese medicine, so I do know what I'm talking about right here on this. The idea is by taking herbs, you alter the balance of the 5 elements in your body and also the flow of energy in your body. Okay, I think I'm getting a bit derailed, but it's kind of a very interesting topic which I really love. But so
we are getting a little bit derailed, but I thought it was just kind of an interesting aspect because there are some cultures who will see certain disorders or diseases as an effect of spiritual consequences, and then the way that people are treated in life and in death, as a matter of fact, are affected by that.
You're not
so
wrong.
So that's kind of why I wanted to ask.
So if you were looking in ancient China, if someone is comatose, what might be the common response would be to call a priest over to summon the spirit back, to hold a ritual, bells and burning talisman papers, offering joysticks, chanting to summon the spirit back. So I'm not sure how many of you watched this show called Grey's Anatomy.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it personally. But
now, if you're watching it for medical accuracy, yeah, done. Okay, it's a drama. It's a drama about how much drama there is in a hospital, which is also not really that true, but it's basically how a whole romantic, messy the romance is within
the US hospital yet.
Yeah, but there's this one particular episode where they were treating this girl from its minority area or something like that, and the family refused to let her go through the surgery before they call in their shaman or something to summon her spirits back. It's the very same concept, actually. In fact, based on the actor's appearance, I wouldn't be surprised if they were Chinese or some sort of Chinese minority.
Okay.
So yeah. So
I have
now
to look up that episode.
I gotta find which episode is it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Prince.
Okay, now by the end of season 10, I'm pretty sure 10 or so. I think they're on what, 11, 12, 13. By now, I would say everyone in the hospital is related to each other, either by familiar ties or by sex. Yep. So
yeah, yeah.
18. Okay, to be fair, it's an interesting show to watch. It's just not accurate. Okay, but coming back to the point, souls,
Yes.
3 spiritual souls and 7 physical souls. That's what I translate them as, the Hun and the Po.
Okay.
3 spiritual souls, 7 physical souls. So now the 7 depending on what version you're talking about, 7 physical souls scatters after you die. And the 3 spiritual souls can be separated into Tian, Di, and Ren. So, translated into English, and which I do in Everlasting Immortal Firmament, is the heavenly soul, the earthly soul, and the mortal soul. So
interesting.
Oh, so Prince said that also there's a really good book about cultural minorities being treated in American medicine called The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down. That is interesting. Maybe I'll check it out someday. And
Yeah, I'll look that up. Thank you for the info.
Yeah. So now the heavenly souls returns to heaven, and heaven kind of, I'm not sure what heaven does to it, but they recycle it or something to do something for energy. So that it cycles around. And then the earthly soul is the one that descends to hell, so descends into earth and get reincarnated. Okay? And then there is the mortal soul. The mortal soul is the one that remains bound to the grave or the land of where they have deep ties with. And yeah, so that's why the presence is there. So, they get split into a few portions. And the mortal soul is the one that's usually the target of ancestral worship.
Okay. Alright, that makes sense.
Yes, which is also another influence. Ancestral worship.
So how many ghosts can you become?
This depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Okay, firstly, remember I mentioned there's so many influenced by different religion. Let's simply just talk about Buddhism for now. Chinese Buddhism, mind you, not Indian Buddhism or the philosophy Buddhism, or you're one kind of Buddhist, right?
I would not necessarily call myself Buddhist. I have way too many anger issues for that. But I was exposed to, and I'm very grateful for that experience, to Buddhism in Hawaii, which I don't know how that differs or is similar to Buddhism in China or Taiwan.
Okay, so very different. Lots of idol worship, which I'm pretty sure is very different from what you have. No, wait, Hawaii may be, because Hawaii has a lot of Chinese and Japanese influence there.
It does, although, and my experience with it, I was very young. I did not notice a whole lot of idol worship, kind of beyond Buddha himself. Yeah, but that I can't even necessarily call worship.
Fair enough. So that means you are. I think the one that you know is definitely different from the Buddhism in China, where it's often really just people going to temples, praying to Buddha for what they want, like a vending machine.
Yeah, this one, the temple that I went to in Hawaii was actually quite interesting. It did have several on-site monks who lived there and took care of the temple.
Yeah. So, now depending on which branch of Buddhism, okay. So let's talk about one of the most well-known kind of Chinese ghosts. It's called the Hungry Ghost.
Yes, I remember editing something about this.
Yes, and I left a translation note in an Apex War God chapter, which I believe is not released yet. I cannot remember why I placed it there, but it's there. Yeah, just know it's there.
Just know it's there.
yeah.
Okay.
So, now, even among hungry ghosts, there are subcategories with different kind of powers and abilities. And depending on who you talk to, they'll tell you there are different numbers of hungry ghosts. Like, I can't pronounce the name and I didn't save the name down, so I'm just going to say a particular branch. I'm not going to give the specific here because I cannot recall it. Let me see if I actually wrote this down, just to be sure. No, I can't find it. Okay, so so this particular branch says there are 18 kinds of hungry ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
There's another
18?
branch that said there are there are 9 kinds of hungry ghosts that can be categorized into 3 groups. Basically, the dirt poor, the has a bit of money and have a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have different powers. Some of them can spit fire out their mouth or something like that.
Well, that sounds like a bad time.
Yeah, and another branch of Buddhism says there is 36 kind of hungry ghosts, of course, each with its own names and abilities and powers and whatnot. So, it really depends on how many on who you ask, and of course, I haven't even taken into account the Taoists. I haven't taken into account the... Dang, there's a lot of 8-tail altars around here. I think I already spotted the 3rd one.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So if you speak to the Taoists, they might just tell you there's one generic type. Okay, so let's maybe just look at what makes an hungry ghost
Yeah,
first.
I was gonna ask, like, what is the core of a hungry ghost?
Okay, so there are 2 particular types which I'll probably discuss. So, of course, they have different origin stories. Maybe you would like to try guess. Maybe okay. Let's get the audience guessing on this one first. So,
right.
we have a few people in there. Prince is there. Prince, would you like to try guessing how do you get hungry ghosts?
See if he's still with us.
Maybe, who knows? Might take him sometimes. A mortal soul that hasn't received ancestral worship. Yes, that is one of it. That is one of it. Okay, and
that's one of the ways. Okay.
That's one of the ways. Okay, so the other way is basically if this person... Actually, you know what? You should guess the other way first. As in Fluffy, yep.
Yep. I'm gonna guess... Well, I mean, by the name, I'm gonna guess, somebody who was starved or was not able to acquire or accomplish something specific.
I would say you got like 10% there. So someone who starved to death is something else entirely. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's basically someone who died with great grievances in their life or been or someone who has done a lot of wrong in their life, and so they are condemned to roam around in hunger, never to be able to satisfy their hunger. as a punishment.
Okay.
Yeah, so this hunger does not also always necessarily take place in the food sense of hunger, but it also could be, like how you have greed for food, greed for money, different kinds of greed.
So
So,
it's more focus on the greed than the hunger aspect.
well, they feel a hunger for the item. Whereby greed is you just want it, hunger is you actually feel the pain of not having it.
Ah, okay. That is an interesting distinction.
Yeah. So like if you hunger for something, it's basically something whereby you are suffering because you don't have it. Whereas greed is really simply I want it, and
Right.
it's
So
an intense desire versus a kind of a physiological need, if I were to put it that way.
okay, so as far as the hungry ghosts that uh-oh, you're cooking. I need to leave.
Why?
So I don't accidentally pick up your food.
Oh, it's fine. I got plenty of food.
So the ghosts that hunger for ancestral worship, how does that work exactly?
Okay, so remember I mentioned the earthly soul. So ancestral worship from the earthly soul. Basically, I know it's strange, but the Chinese makes offerings to their ancestors to sort of feed them. So
Not
if
all that strange. There's a lot of cultures that make and basically some sort of sacrifice or some sort of tribute to ancestors.
okay, well then let's go with that, friend. So basically, you get the situation where they are. Sorry, a bit distracted by putting stuff in chest at the moment. Okay, yeah. So the earth, no, the mortal soul after passing away remains around the grave or areas of great attachment, and they are often being fed or worshipped by their descendants. And the thing is, these are what things that sustain them. And what happens if you stop getting fed? You get hungry.
Oh, I was gonna say I get angry, but yeah, you get hungry. Okay, so does that mean that the spirits, ancestral spirits of families who have completely died off end up turning into hungry soul or hungry ghosts?
Sorry, can you repeat that? It kind of flew past my head for a bit.
Does that mean that ancestral spirits of, like, if a family, the last of a family ends up dying off, does that mean that the ancestral spirit?
Yeah. So because there's no one left to worship, but of course there are temples out there that do exist specifically to deal with these kind of cases, so they can prevent such things from happening.
Okay.
It's part of the whole Buddhism concept of compassion.
Right.
Yeah, so they pray on behalf of these people to make sure they get fed something. They pray, they offer incense. They don't worship the souls, but apparently prayer helps. They pray for them or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so now that is the hungry ghost, and in fact, if you come to Southeast Asia, in fact, even China has it, but they celebrate it, I think, a bit differently. But we have what we call the Hungry Ghost Festival. So this is also another kind of hungry ghost, and this one is more related to Buddhism. So one of the I think path of reincarnation leads to being a hungry ghost or something like that. But basically the idea is that you've done a lot of evil in your life, and you're basically being punished to become a hungry ghost. Okay, so then we have basically now this kind of hungry ghost isn't let out loose to roam Earth. They are normally locked up in hell. But once a month, 1 month a year, 1 lunar month a year, the gates of hell open up and they can roam free. Now, does this sound sort of familiar?
Just out of curiosity, what month is it?
It's the 7th month. 7th lunar month.
So what month is the 7th lunar month?
I don't know. It depends on the year.
Oh.
Because 1 lunar month
sounds like Halloween to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There is some similarity with Halloween, where Halloween, all the spirits are free to roam, but for that one night. For the Hungry Ghost Festival, it's 1 month.
That depends very much on which Halloween mythos you're pulling from. The Dias de los Muertos. It's morning. I'm sorry for butchering it, but the Day of the Days or Days of the Dead is a celebration amongst Latino people, and I know specifically my knowledge covers the celebrations in Mexico.
Wait, that one is not Halloween, right? But another festival entirely?
It is. Well, it's over the same time period, but it is not Halloween. Halloween actually comes from Samhain, which is from the Celtic peoples.
All Hallows Eve, right? All Hallows Eve?
All Hallows Eve. Yep, you have All Hallows Eve, and then Day of Hallows, and then the All Saints Day. That's kind of the more modern thing. But the Dias de los Muertos is specifically a celebration where the spirits of the dead are able to cross the barrier, and the Mexican people throw a party for them. There's parades, there's feasts, they have all of this in the cemeteries. They cook and bring out a lot of food that is specifically meant for the spirits of the dead, and they leave it out there. And the idea is, as it decays, that is the spirits enjoying the meal. It's something that's very much celebrated, and not because the way that they see it is when you die, you no longer have to worry about the troubles of the living.
Sounds pretty much true. Now, we have a couple of comments on Prince Calabrin here. So, let's see. Ghost Festival next year is the 12th of August. And for Dia de los...
that's singular. Thank you.
I'm butchering this words because I can't speak any Spanish whatsoever.
Dia de los Muertos. Festival where the spirits of the return from the afterlife to celebrate their past lives with their families. Yay!
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically essentially what I've heard. But it does cover the 30th, 31st, and 1st, doesn't it?
It's a singular day, though, according to him.
It is, but it's usually celebrated over multiple days, at least from what I've learned. But I could be wrong.
Well, it still sounds like a very cool and chill festival, party out with the dead family members.
Yeah.
It's a celebration. Night of November the 1st into the November the 2nd.
Okay. So that kind of takes place at the same time as the Catholic All Saints Day, which is a similar concept. And there's a lot of... Every culture has something to do with the dead crossing over.
Yep.
Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing depends on the culture.
I think it's probably like, the human yearning to see their, their departed family and friends. So, they like to think that there's a day where to reconnect. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool concept though. That they are celebrating the date and they come back and party together. Since there are so many Catholics in Mexico, I believe a lot of celebrations get mixed. Yeah, possibly. I mean, there are lots of cultures that end up being meshed up into one. And the Hungry Ghost, which I speak of the Chinese, is actually one such example where you have many mythos coming in together to create this concept. In fact, I believe the original idea of the Hungry Ghost was actually coming from Indian Buddhism.
Really?
Yeah, Prieta or something like that. I can't recall the exact thing, but yeah, so it's definitely something that's influenced by Buddhism and the whole idea called Ho as well. And in fact, there's a couple of legends and stories about Hungry Ghosts and the Hungry Ghost Festival. Oh, let me tell you what we do in Singapore for the Hungry Ghost Festival. We... Actually, you know what? Maybe I should tell the story first because it will make more sense after you know the story.
Yes, tell us a ghost story.
Well, it's not so much a ghost story. Now, you'll be surprised if this is actually a story of filial piety.
Okay.
Alright, it's actually quite a nice story. Okay, so this is the legend of Mu Lian. Okay, Mu Lian should be Mu Lian, yes. For some reason, I didn't save the Chinese characters, but just did the pinyin. And as such, I do not know the tones, so I can only guess which word it is. Okay, so according to legend, okay, this Hungry Ghost Festival originated from the attempt of this person called Mu Lian, who is a disciple of Buddha. Okay, to save his mother from torture in hell. So the story goes like that. His mother was a vegetarian and had consumed meat soup without knowing it. And because she denied taking the meat soup, she got condemned to hell. Okay? So Mu Lian tried to locate his mother in hell, in the netherworld, and found her among the hungry ghosts. So in one version of the story, he tried to feed his starving mother, but before his mother could get hold of the food, hungry ghosts being hungry ghosts, you know, throw a piece of meat to hungry lions or piranhas.
They're all gonna go after. Yep.
Yep.
You're gonna have a frenzy.
So feeding frenzy. But yeah, so before the mother got the food, the other hungry ghosts got the food instead. So in another version of this story, okay, you know, like I say, many different versions of the same thing, variations, things like that. He tried to feed his starving mother, and I'm back and here to sleep. It's getting too dark for me to actually even see anything. So he sent her a bowl of rice as an offering, but before it could reach her mouth, the food turned into flaming coals.
Ooh.
Yeah, of course, you know, hungry ghost punishment. So they are punished to be hungry. Any food they bring to their mouth turns to coal. Or they burn away. Okay, so you know, Mu Lian's a disciple of Buddha, yeah? You know, big guy up there. So he asked for help.
Yep.
Okay, so Buddha intervened and taught him to make offerings of special prayer and food. And that relieved his mother of her suffering as a hungry ghost. So of course this is one version of it. Another version is that out of compassion, Buddha saw Mu Lian's love and filial piety, well, for the mother of course. So he had compassion on him and declared a month where the hungry ghosts can roam free into the world to seek out food.
Okay.
So another version also has it that his mother is not a hungry ghost but was just in there with the other hungry ghosts. So the reason why they were let out were also so that he could feed the mother without any interference. Yeah, you know, many versions.
Of course.
Yeah, so essentially this is how the Hungry Ghost Festival came about. It's actually, the Hungry Ghost Festival is actually a festival about piety, about filial piety, and not so much about ghosts per se.
Okay.
Yeah, so during the Hungry Ghost Festival, we will make, well, not we, but the people who believe in this will make offerings to the dead, their family, well, the dead family, of course, friends, and also random ghosts.
Just random ones.
Yeah, cause they don't, so that they don't compete with what they offer to their own family, and at the same time to have compassion on them, to feed them, especially those who have no family, to make offerings to them. And in
Wait,
Singapore,
that's cool.
we set up like stages in open air areas, and we call them Ge Tai, which translated into English would be a song stage. Basically, you have like people singing, and they tend to be like Hokkien or Cantonese songs.
Okay.
Hokkien, Cantonese being the major dialect group in Singapore. Yeah, and there are a couple of very interesting customs. So people will often leave joysticks at the side of the street. So basically, don't kick them over, because if you kick them, the ghost will follow you home.
Oh.
Then
Yeah, probably best to leave them alone.
there's also this one whereby, okay, so you remember I mentioned the singing stage I mentioned earlier, the Ge Tai. So in such events, the first rows are left empty for VIPs.
VIP. Okay, so who qualifies as a VIP?
I suppose if you don't brief, you are a VIP.
Oh. Okay.
I thought that was clear enough, but I mean, yeah,
Well, I didn't know if there were VIPs amongst the hungry ghosts. You never know.
the hungry ghosts are the VIP. The humans sit in the second row and beyond.
They are not allowed.
Well, you could sit in the first row and see what happens to you. Of course.
See, that sounds ominous, and in a way, I don't want to I don't want to test my luck there.
I mean, maybe you just get possessed or something.
Yeah, that seems like a bad day.
Yeah, so there are lots of culture that develop here in Singapore separately from China with regards to this, but of course, many of these did carry over from China as well. If there's a good chance that there is a similar celebration or a similar way of doing this in commemorating this day in the southern part of China, because
Okay.
Singapore's Chinese mostly came from the south of southern China.
Interesting.
Yeah. Of course, this practice is also common in Malaysia, potentially Thailand and Indonesia as well. Southeast Asia, basically.
Yep.
And this is a terrible island. I haven't found a dark forest yet.
Are you sure you want to look for the dark? You're gonna die, dude. You're gonna become a hungry ghost looking for that troll leather. So speaking of death, can ghosts can hungry ghosts die, or how do they move on?
Okay, moving on is a whole separate thing, but can ghosts die? That's a very interesting question. So, what do you think? Can ghosts die?
See, in the different lores that I've studied, it's not so much die as they move on. But so I'm really not sure in this case.
Okay, so
I mean,
now
monsters and stuff like that, I would say yes. But I don't know.
okay, so there's this Chinese saying, and it originates from Buddhism for this particular one. It goes like this. Well, I can't exactly translate this entirely, so I'm going to use the pinyin for certain words, okay? So when humans die, they become ghosts, 鬼. Okay? When 鬼, which is ghosts, die, they become 剑. And
Okay.
yes, they do die, and the jian is what they become. And a jian is to a ghost as to what a ghost as to us. Sounds confusing, yeah?
Interesting. So do they haunt ghosts then?
Yep, they haunt ghosts. And so one of the things that
What?
Southern Chinese do, I think, is they have the Chinese character for Jian pasted somewhere on the door to deflect ghosts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
So you appeal to a ghost of a ghost to keep the ghosts away from you.
the enemy of your enemy is
Your friend concept. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so they
Interesting.
scare ghosts away with the ghost of a ghost. Now that's not the end. A Jian can die.
There's okay.
A Jian dies to become a C. Okay, now C it also has the meaning of rare, okay? And a C dies to become a Yi. The Yi
No.
means oh boy, I cannot remember the meaning of Yi. Let me just double check this in Google if I can get this up.
Google. It has answers for everything.
Well, especially dictionaries.
Yes, especially. What have I found here?
Eh,
I found another.
okay, it's a little more complex, but just understand it as Yi for now. Okay? And when a
Okay.
Yi dies, it becomes Wei, which is minute or insignificant. And when the Wei dies, they become Wu Xing, which literally means formless.
Huh.
So
And this is
humans,
all the mortal soul?
it depending on which story you go by, which mythos you go by. Some is the entire soul, some is the mortal soul. So you have the humans, the ghosts, the Jian, the Xi, the Yi, the Wei, and the Wu Xing. 7, if you include humans. So now, the idea of this is that with each death, you become even more immaterial, and even more less
So
of an influence onto the world, to the point where you become formless and basically nothing. You cease to completely exist.
huh. Okay.
Now,
So you don't, but that's only part of your soul.
yeah, well, I believe for this particular mythos, I believe it's not taking the 3 spiritual souls concept, because this does talk about reincarnation, and reincarnation is an earthly soul concept.
Right.
Yeah, so like I say, some of this, because a lot of these legends and mythologies have been so mixed in with many of these other religions and things like that, we have come to a point where sometimes a lot of this gets mixed up together and things get a little incoherent, especially when you're researching it, and the complete picture may not be very clear. Of course,
Right.
there may be some people who've been clear on this, and to be honest, I'll tell you this. Before doing my research, I did not even know about this.
Yeah.
In fact, there was so little information about this particular thing which I just mentioned that I could barely find anything except for this line from the sutra. Yes, this line is from one of the Buddhist sutras.
Huh. Bye, Prince Kaladin. Have a good day.
Yep, have a good day. Come join us another time. But yeah, it came from a a Buddhist sutra. I cannot remember exactly which one again, because the names have they are in the unpronounceable names of Sanskrit.
Yeah,
Yep. So I'm pretty sure you understand.
that's definitely. Yeah, Sanskrit's an adventure.
Yeah. So that's that. Hang on, give me a second. I need to aim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't
So
know where I am.
yeah. So these are like Buddhist mythos. You'll find that Buddhism has a lot on reincarnation. It's one of Buddhism's thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so that's but information on this one is surprisingly rare, and nowhere on the internet, even the Chinese internet, could I find information on what a jinn is exactly, aside from the fact that it is the ghost of a ghost and ghosts fear them because they are
Okay.
yeah, because they are as to the ghost as what ghosts are as to us.
Right.
Yes, the Black Forest.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm running back first before coming to explore more, cause my inventory is completely full.
Wow, that's. Come here, neck.
Yeah, get more necks. We want neck meat.
I'm working on it, but it's kind of hard with the spear.
Uh, necks? They charge you. Just go for them.
Getting with the spear. I'm working on it. I'm out here getting supplies, doing my part. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, well, so next Hungry Ghost for you. And wow, I actually spent way longer talking about Hungry Ghost than I thought I would. I tend to over prepare sometimes for this, or rather more of I prepare and think that that's not gonna last me much, but we go off on tangents sometimes, and yeah.
Yep. But that's okay because we actually end up exploring a lot of information that
Oh
way.
yeah, it's it's very interesting, and honestly, with most superstitions, you'll find that there is a lot more information on ghosts than there is on heaven.
Yeah. A lot of cultures, and that I think that's true for a lot of cultures because a lot of cultures are like, yeah, it's heaven. It's a good place.
Yeah, and
Want
that's all
it.
you need to know. It's good. what
And
more
that's
do
all
you
you
want
need
from
to know.
good?
It's not the bad place. That's all you need to know, right?
Yeah, and the bad place, you want to know why is it not good, and it's also as
Yep, you need.
the scary story to scare children from doing all the wrong things and things like that.
Right. You got to have the warning in there, and you got to make sure people understand the warning. But heaven, it's not that place, so that should be good enough.
Wherever you go, just don't go there. You want this place.
Yep, just don't go there.
Yeah. So it's like I was like commenting on it the last episode, I believe we were on, where I managed to do 2 full episodes talking on 2 versions of hell, and that wasn't even exhaustive cause I could have gone way more in depth into the punishments and things like that, which I will admit
Oh
I
yeah, that
am
was
not an
just
expert of.
surface stuff.
Yeah, all I had was
No.
really general as it is. But still, it's kind of interesting knowledge, and it really ties in with a lot of these cultivation stories that we work on.
Right. Because we do cover a lot of different aspects of kind of that spirituality.
Yep.
Sorry, I got attacked by a boar and it distracted me for a second.
It's okay. I got distracted by Nex earlier. uh, yeah. So that is the Hungry Ghost. Now, earlier you were talking about people who died from hunger.
Yes.
That in itself is another kind of ghost. And its name is very similar to Hungry Ghost.
Yeah.
To translate it, it would go ghosts who died of hunger. Oh,
Okay.
Icterelli. Okay, we have a raid. We have a
Uh-oh.
raid. No, the raid is
We've
good.
been
A raid is
invaded.
good.
It is good, but I am nowhere near the house.
I am there. Raids trigger only if a player is by the house.
Yep.
Come on, bring me all the meat. Deliver your meat to me. Meat? Where's the meat?
This is not good.
Meat.
There we go. Speaking of hungry.
Well, you know, food is important. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, people who died of hunger become a ghost that's known by, well, when translated, the name is literally ghosts who died of hunger.
So I'm gonna call them, for the sake of our explanation, starved ghosts. That seems appropriate.
That works. So, I actually found a post which I have taken a look and more or less cross-verified some of the information. Not all of them, I'll admit, but I cross-verified a good chunk of the information, and they do match up with what I know as well. So I'm going to use this list it's from a Chinese forum, and this basically it gives us a list of ghosts, their names, basically what they are, how they died, and how dangerous are they.
Okay.
So, we have the ghost who died of hunger. Yep. So now, this kind of ghosts, clearly, these are the poor and people who died of hunger and a lot of resentment. Of course, resentment is a very important thing when dying if you want to become a ghost, or else,
Yeah. Pretty much the world around. If you were resentful, you have a good chance of becoming a ghost.
Yep. So, how do you think they appear? What do they manifest?
Ghosts?
Yeah.
That's a good question. How do they appear? I am gonna guess as some sort of devouring terror? Or a skeleton?
Well, okay, they appear as human, as in they look human, but what form do you think they take?
I don't know what my options are. Can I have a multiple choice?
Okay. They go about gobbling up everybody's food, A. B, they sit weakly by the side of the street begging for food. C, they... Well, okay, let's just go with A and B. A and B. I can't think of more.
A and B. I guess maybe they, by the side of the road, begging for food. And if you don't give them food, then bad things happen to you. Oh no. Speaking of bad things are happening to me right now.
Well, I am going to
It is very,
lie in
very
bed
dark.
and chill here. Okay, so Generally, they do appear, they manifest in the form of basically a weak person asking for food from you. Not necessarily a beggar, but
Okay.
generally a weak person asking for food. And they are generally quite harmless, generally. Okay. As these are people who come from poor backgrounds, they generally have a good heart normally, and as long as you do what it says, your life won't be in danger, and they are generally quite harmless.
Okay.
Okay, so now the next one. This one is pretty obvious, so I'm just gonna go with how do you think they appear? Okay, this
Okay.
one is, I will call it the hanged ghost.
Ooh. That sounds like people who were hung for crimes.
Well, in this case, is hung and committed suicide by hanging themselves. Now, is it me or is this smoke or myth?
Hold on, say that again?
Is this smoke or is this myth?
This is mist.
Okay. But yeah, so you have the hang ghosts, okay? And how do you think they appear?
I guess they appear as if they're hanging from something. Probably they appear as they died?
Nope.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, so
how
frequently these kind of ghosts are usually female for some reason. Okay? Which is also one interesting thing about Chinese ghosts is that Chinese ghosts tends to differentiate between genders, and I think many ghosts of many other cultures actually don't bother issuing genders to ghosts.
that not necessarily.
I mean, not necessarily, but there are quite a few
Yeah,
that
at
I
least
know of that don't bother.
it depends on whether the culture has like specific types of ghosts or whether or not it's the kind of spirit of like somebody specific who died. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay. So back on topic here. So it's normally a female ghost, and this female ghost will hold a rope in her hand, usually bloody, like bloodied, like there's blood on the rope, and she will ask you to bring the rope home.
Ah, don't bring the rope home. Don't bring the rope home.
This kind of ghost is pretty dangerous because they died out of committing suicide. And they are filled with a lot of resentment. I mean, they have to be in order for them to commit suicide. So,
Right.
regardless of whatever she says, never agree to bring the rope home.
Yeah, she reminds me of the smiling ghost from Japanese lore.
So yeah, and actually there is one ghost that this one resembles from Japanese lore, and it's not the smiling one. You're talking about the slit mouth woman, right?
Yeah.
This one has a long tongue.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, but there are Japanese ghosts with long tongues too.
That's true. Still creepy.
Yeah. I mean, they're ghosts. How can they not be creepy?
Fair point.
It's a compliment for them. But yeah, so never agreed to bring her rope back, and this forum post doesn't say what happens if you do, but he has the danger
But
rating as
just
30
know.
to 99.
Oh, so no matter what, it's a bad time. Don't bring the rope home.
Yeah, so in contrast, the earlier starving ghost, he gave a rating of 20. So yeah, you know, quite up
Noted.
there. Alright, the next one. Okay, this one is not so clear. It's a bloody ghost or a bloodied ghost. a ghost covered in blood, something like that.
Okay. Is it the ghost of a murder victim?
No. It has to do with pregnancy.
Oh. Miscarriage?
Not really. Not exactly.
Okay. You're gonna have to give me a hint here.
Okay, so complications.
Ooh. That sucks.
All right, so you can't die of a
Mothers who
miscarriage,
died
right?
giving birth.
Yep, those who died giving birth. And it doesn't say anything about whether they successfully give birth or not, so I can't say miscarriage, but I would say there's a good chance whereby miscarriage probably happened too. Like, as in baby didn't survive.
The baby
as well.
lost it, yeah.
But yeah, so how do you think she manifests? Of course, this being a ghost that died of a pregnancy complication is a female ghost.
Well, I want to say it seems pretty obvious it would have something to do with a child born or a child lost, maybe? Maybe she manifests anytime that a child dies?
Well, not really
I'm guessing
mentioned that.
as at least at the first manifestation, the creation of her is when the mother dies, but beyond that, I don't know.
Okay, so basically, you probably won't guess this very much, but okay, so based on this, my guess is usually the baby's miscarriage as well. Okay, so normally, it's only seen by pregnant woman.
Okay.
And it's female, and it carries a crimson sac with something bloody in it.
Oh.
So my guess is the dead baby. Yeah. So,
Okay.
danger rating is
I'm guessing
80.
this is 80?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would guess that this is probably a pretty dangerous ghost.
So, if we go a little further from this, okay, so it basically says on this note here, due to modern times, they are very rare because, you know, less people die from complications. Now, people still do, but less. But if you do meet her, ignore her at all costs.
Yeah?
Yeah, just ignore her. Okay, so the next one I have is actually not a ghost, but it has the word ghost in the name. Okay, so it is a 落尸鬼. I'm not sure how I would translate this honestly. Falling corpse ghost if you go direct, but that's definitely not what it means. Okay, I think I'll just give you this one because I can't really call this a ghost, but it's a spirit of some sort.
Okay.
It is something like a kappa.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so basically they lure you into the water by pretending to be dead fish. How dangerous do you think they are?
So why?
Scale of 1 to 100.
With these guys, if they're anything like a kappa, although the concept is super cute, in Japanese lore, kappa are actually pretty dangerous. So I'm gonna say probably 70 or up.
Ah, you hit the number. Well,
I'm gonna say they're probably pretty dangerous.
they are 70, but This particular post listed it as 20 to 70.
Okay.
The idea is just ignore them. Do not lose your life for petty gains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dead fish. Come on, why would you want to grab a dead fish out of the water?
That's kind of what I was wondering at first.
I mean, I suppose maybe if
How
you
does
were...
a dead fish like lure you in? At least a kappa waits until you get close to the water for like some normal reason and drags you in.
So I think maybe for the viewers' sake, I think maybe we should explain what a kappa is.
Ah, yes. So a kappa is a turtle frog like yokai in Japanese lore. And I'm only know surface level stuff, but it likes to sit in rivers and it will reach out and grab somebody in to eat them, chew on their bones, whatnot. But it has a weakness. It has a kind of bowl shape. It's the top of its head is divoted in. And if you bow at it, it will have to bow back because that's only polite. And it will slowly lose water out of that bowl.
How Japanese.
And when that bowl dries up, it becomes very, very weak and very easy to deal with. It's no longer a threat. So if you ever run across a weird frog turtle man thing, just bow at it.
So bow to the necks?
I don't know if bowing to the next is going to help you. Those are more lizard type things anyway.
Yeah, and I believe also according to Japanese folklore, kappas love cucumbers.
That I've heard that as well. Because it has a similar crunch to child's bones is what I've heard.
Wait, what? Really?
I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard.
Crunch to a child's bone.
Dear got away. I don't know. I don't chew on child's bones. So I have no idea. Don't quote me on that. It's just
I
one of the
believe
stories
a child's
I've
bones
heard.
crunch the same way as an adult's does.
I don't want to think about it. But thank you. But no. It's a little too dark for my taste. I don't want to think about how child's bones crunch. I'm good.
But yeah, so basically I think this is pretty much Chinese kappa. In fact, if you see the depictions of it, it does look like a kappa as well. So it's probably a Chinese version of the kappa.
Okay.
Of course, doesn't give us the information on its weakness and things like that.
So we don't know if it has a bowl in its head.
I don't know that, but it does have this lizard frog appearance, reptilian scales, green and everything with a tail. Okay, so the next one is a drowned ghost.
Oh, I mean, men lost at sea. Anyone, like, men or women lost at sea or who died while fishing. Drowned ghosts are really common. Well, the concept, anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not wrong there, although the specifics here is more of people who die by drowning, not necessarily at sea.
Fair.
So it doesn't have to be at sea, even if you're in a river, even a swimming pool, that would work.
Oh, that would suck. And I'm assuming they, reach out, grab you, and pull you underwater, and you drown.
Not so much about... I'm not sure about reaching out, but they do reach. They reach for your leg, your ankle more specifically, and they pull you down. So the idea is to kill you, of course. Oh,
of course.
Yeah, kappa was 20 to 70, if I haven't mentioned that.
Right, yep.
So the idea is to pull you down. You feel a pressure, something gripping your leg and just pulling you downwards. And the idea is to kill you so that you will replace them.
Oh, so that if they kill you, they're set free?
Yep.
Oh, that makes them even more dangerous.
So, danger level 60. The way to
It's not
defend
too
against
bad.
them, they are weak against fire.
Yeah, what? But wait, what? Why are they weak against fire?
Beats
Of all
me!
things.
But they're weak against
Wouldn't
fire.
they be immune? Okay, alright. I guess that's a thing. I don't understand it, but yeah, sure.
I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Skeletons.
Well, you went into the... I can't help you. I don't even know where you are. Why did you go all the way into the bad place?
Trove?
Maybe we should come back and we should try fighting Ike there. Should just run away and get some Ike there juice.
Yeah, what happens if you fail to kill Icter anyway?
You never get I don't know. What happens if we just don't kill any of the bosses? I'm gonna have to test this in a playthrough.
Do they just roam free? Do they chase you forever?
Oh, you mean if you summon it and then don't kill it? Yeah, they'll chase you till you die.
But if you died, do they chase you down?
I don't know.
Do they despawn?
I don't know.
Worth trying
I've
someday.
never. Yeah, I mean, I also am kind of curious to see if you can actually play the game without killing any of the bosses, like without summoning or killing any of the bosses. But I don't know. I got stuck on a tree.
I got a feeling
That's the name of this game.
it's possible. I mean, it's just a matter of whether you get to the end game. But you know, if not, without killing Icter, you will never get copper or tin because you can never get
that's
a
right.
pickaxe.
Yep. And there's certain recipes that you cannot get, even if you do Ike there, but if you don't ignore the other bosses, there are certain recipes you can't get without slaying those bosses.
But now that I think about it, I wonder if it's possible.
I don't know.
No, because you see,
Probably very difficult.
black metal. What do you need? Oh no, you need Modor's Tears for black metal.
Well, and you need to be able to mine the metal.
Nope, you don't. The Furlings
Okay,
drop
but
them.
you won't be able to, because you'll need iron and everything else to actually do anything with it. I am on the very edge of a mountain and I don't know where I am.
You're kind of coming close to me, to where my body is at, actually.
To where your body's at, that's not good. Your body has skeletons.
Just
I mean, everybody has
1.5
skeletons,
left.
but you know what I meant. Just 1.5 left. Do you need me to come help you?
No, it's good. I got careless.
Alright.
Part of the issue was that one was carrying a bow and I took a hit without blocking as well earlier. I forgot to make a shield.
You gotta have the block.
I forgot the shield. It's fine. We really need a better way to get into this dark forest though. Oh boy.
I don't know, but I'm heading back to the cabin.
Okay.
So, what is our next ghost?
Alright, next ghost. What do we have here? The whistling ghost. Oh wait, sorry. One more thing I forgot to mention. So aside from fire, aside from being afraid of fire, you can curse at them. So it's a Chinese thing, whereby they believe that you can scare ghosts off by cursing at them. Like vulgarities.
Really?
Yep. So when you look at Chinese
Wow, I
ghost
should live in
hunters,
China. I'll never get haunted.
yeah, if you watch Chinese ghost hunters when they go exploring and when things scare them, they start spewing a lot of vulgarities.
Huh. I gotta watch this. I need like a Chinese ghost hunter show.
Oh, I can give you a channel, and there's this guy who does compilations with permissions, of course. But he does
Okay.
compilations of various ghost hunters, and he explains things, and he will put it into English for you as well. So there's this
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah, and one of the groups that he frequently compiles is a Chinese group.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
you should definitely share that link at some point, like when you post these videos in the chat, whatever. You should definitely share that link.
yeah. That was the next one, the whistling ghost.
Oh, I need more flint. Okay, good to know.
So, whistling ghost, what do you think?
Afraid to guess this one because it could be a lot of things, and all of those things are coming up bad. So what is this whistling ghost?
It's a ghost who died as a child.
Oh no! Child ghosts are the saddest and the creepiest. Always the creepiest. Anyone watching knows what I mean.
No, you'll be surprised. Now, let me give me a pause here. Dungeon. Kelly, this is important to note. Sorry, tricky spot here.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just doing some cooking, putting some trophies away.
Okay, I'm making my way back to home.
Do you have any flint on you?
I actually have some in the chest.
We only have 4 in the chest. I was gonna build the thing to upgrade our.
I'll pick up some on my way back if I see any.
Right.
Okay, now, so ghosts who died when small children. So basically, when you whistle, someone would whistle along with you.
Nope.
But you cannot see anyone around you.
Yeah, I'm out. That's creepy. That's so creepy. I don't know. I can't even think of what they might do to you, but I'm gonna say that their danger is like 90 to 100.
Well, here's where you're wrong. Their danger is 0.
Oh, so they're just creepy.
They're just kids. They're messing around with you.
Yeah, well, that's really creepy.
I mean, you just don't whistle.
Just don't whistle. Yeah, but once you do whistle and you hear that, like, oh no, I left one of my food things and now it's become charcoal.
It's fine. I could use the charcoal.
Oh, I'm sure you could use it. Where do you want me to put the charcoal? I don't have a charcoal spot. They're going over here next to the flowers.
You could create a charcoal spot.
I am. They're going over here next to the flowers.
Do you know how to make the signs 2 rows? Just take a look at the example.
I'll let you do it.
Just take a look at one of the examples.
Wayne.
You got to learn.
Got to learn. Yes. Learning is a thing. There.
I like how Valheim actually automatically alters the font size for everything to fit. It's pretty nice.
It is nice. Yes, I do like that.
But yeah, so children ghosts, they're not harmful, they're just playful.
And creepy.
And creepy. I mean, that's the whole purpose of their way being, to be creepy.
But is that the only childlike ghost or child ghost?
I mean, who's to say that they don't intersect? Children drown?
Oh, that's sad but true. Okay.
No.
So what's so these are not dangerous at all, but yeah. So what's our next one?
Oh, the next one is something that you might like. Not like, I mean, something that you might be quite familiar with. It's the Headless Ghost.
Okay. So these are kind of everywhere. The Headless, so for anyone watching out there, if you think of, immediately the Headless Horseman, I just want to clarify that the Headless Horseman ghost that we're familiar with in the US is actually derived from the myth of the Dullahan, which is not as, I don't think it's as much of a ghost as it is a fae, which is a particular distinction. So this one, I'm assuming is this one like those who have been executed, or just anyone who has lost their head.
Yeah, anyone who just lost their head. How do you think they haunt people?
They throw their heads at them. That's that's what the Dullahan does. It throws its head at somebody if that somebody they deliver bad news. There's a lot of fae that just deliver bad news. That's their entire job. So my guess is they throw their head at somebody, or they leave their head somewhere to scare the pants off of somebody.
Well, they often appear headless or carrying their heads with their hand. Such people are usually quite evil before they died, so it's just when this basically says when you meet this kind of ghosts, don't be afraid, fight them off.
Fight them off?
Yeah, because they will chase you down if you run, kind of thing.
Fisticuffs? Just go ahead and punch them in the non-existent head?
Just be more ferocious than it.
Oh, okay. How do you be more ferocious than a headless ghost?
Act angry, ready to fight. Scold vulgarities at it.
Well, yep, definitely gotta have the vulgarities.
Yeah. It's quite dangerous though. 70, it ranks 70. So there is a little more which I'm actually aware of for this one. There are certain versions which are more humorous in a way, where they go around searching for their heads, or asking people where their heads are. Okay, so but that's not the humorous one. The humorous one is a more modern version where it's modern because there are cars, and it has to do with hitchhikers.
Oh no, of course it does. See, every culture agrees. Hitchhikers are concerning.
So, okay, you pick up a hitchhiker. So, hitchhiker casually makes conversation with you. And then somehow, he would steer the conversation towards Headless Ghost.
Oh. So what you're saying is you're actually a headless ghost, and this is all a ploy.
Yeah, so he'll steer the conversation towards there, and then eventually he gets you interested enough, and he goes with, do you know what a headless ghost look like? You probably go, no. Do you want to know? Then
no.
Here's one. And it's like, lifts up the head and shows you, or maybe you look into a mirror and you notice he is headless.
So these ghosts also just like to creep people out, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's kind of a prank thing. Wait, I survived a 1-star skeleton without armor? Okay.
That's impressive. Did you bring back Flint?
Yep, 11.
Awesome. I can build the next thing that we need.
On that note, we almost can build a deer hide cape.
That's what I was collecting
You need bones.
stuff for. Do I need
fragment.
bones? Wait, for the cape. No, I was going to build the tanning rack so that we could upgrade
Yeah.
so that we could upgrade stuff. And just need some more flint.
I don't know where I can get more skeletons though. So now, given the time now is 10:45. And
yes. Let's do one less ghost.
I'm actually thinking no, because the next ghost is a very interesting major one.
Yes, but remember, next week, for any of those watching, we are going to be playing Phasmophobia and discussing American ghosts.
But rather than remember, they don't know about it, but now they do.
Yes, now they do. So remember that for next time.
We'll be discussing American ghosts, and I'll probably talk about some Chinese ghosts as well. I mean, basically, it's October. This is Ghost Month. So
yeah, we're doing ghost stories this month.
And possibly even beyond Halloween. I have not even gone through a third of my material which I have prepared.
Well, and next week I am, instead of just talking about the types of ghosts, because we're not that organized,
I am.
I was planning on, yes, but I mean the US ghosts we don't have necessarily types of ghosts as much as we have ghost stories.
So that'd be fun. I got a few Southeast Asian ones too.
So I was hoping that I could talk about or tell a couple of ghost stories while we go ghost hunting.
That'll be fun.
Awesome. I can tell you some personal ghost stories.
Ooh, that'll be even more fun.
Of my personal experience. And did I run away? Yes, I absolutely ran away. But you'll have to tune in next time for those. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, so come back next time to check. But we're not ending yet. We do want to fight off at least we want to attempt to fight Ectir. I do know where I can get some more skeletons.
You put all of the chests here. Now I don't have anywhere to place the upgrades.
Place it below here. Here, go underneath.
What?
Place it underneath. Hide it there.
What? Fine.
This is not going to be the final house. We will be moving. This is the starting shack.
Fine.
I believe there were some bone fragments in some altar thing in that direction.
Probably.
Oh, I think there was some in this direction. Ooh. Dear. No, come back there. Done it. We need their trophies.
What was that? Oh, we can build a raft now.
Why would you want to build a raft? It's terrible.
I'm not saying we had to. I'm saying we could.
Okay. To be fair, a raft was how I transported my wolves around. Cause wolves swim.
That's a good idea.
And the raft is not too fast that you lose them.
Good to know. All right. So, what did you want to cover in the last few minutes of our adventure here?
Just one Ictio fight, which I highly doubt I'll be able to spare the mental faculty to even speak of ghosts.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I have updated at least my spear and my shield.
I do need to get a shield. I'm going to stick with the axe for now.
Where is our closest?
I didn't mark the other two Ichthyirs, but they're all pretty close anyway. I think they're like something like here, here, and here.
All right. So we go north.
The thing with north is I can't guarantee that. It's like I know there's one there, but I cannot guarantee the exact location.
Well, that's a boar that should not be out. Are you a friendly one? You are a friendly one. Why are you out? I
If it's
can't.
not named, then just kill it.
Poor boar.
I mean, we're breeding them for meat anyway.
I can't kill it, so it's just gonna wander around now.
Yeah, you got to turn on friendly fire to kill it, which reminds me I
It's
should turn it
fine.
off if you around.
Yeah, we don't want that kind of issue while we're trying to fight a boss. Gotta level up my jumping.
Build a gym. Okay, I'm pretty sure we should be able to take down Ichthyer with what we have. It's just a matter of how long we take to do it.
Well, only one way to find out.
Yep. Now, we're not going yet. Hang on. I gotta go and get myself a shield. You know what? Doesn't matter. But did you bring the deer trophies by any chance?
I did not.
Yep,
I
so
forgot.
we need those.
Well, I figured you wanted a shield anyway.
Yeah, but you came all the way up here. I just can't quite remember where's that thing. I didn't bother. I should have taken the skeleton fragments earlier. Can't find it anymore. Why am I tripping?
Why are you tripping?
Mentally tripping. This area is nice for berries.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just don't break the berry bush. They don't respawn, just so you know.
Yep. Yeah, I'm aware.
There are mods that we can install to actually grow berry bushes.
I like having a couple of mods for convenience, but
I'm not saying
that
to
might
install
make the
that.
game a little too easy.
I'm not saying install that. I'm just saying they exist.
Fair. I don't know where the thing is.
Yeah, which is why I suggested we just go for the one we know.
I don't know where any of them are.
Hmm.
And now I'm lost.
You have a map.
What? What is this map thing you speak of? Hello, berries.
We need more inventory space.
Said every Valheim player ever. Okay, so I see where the things are marked, but you never marked any of the...
Yeah, I know. I said I didn't mark that one.
You didn't mark any of them. Thought you said you found like 3 of them.
I found 2. Oh, I got a message coming in.
I believe I do as well.
Okay, so shoe. Okay, 1 second, the message.
No.
Hey, shoe. Wood shoe. Oh,
Wood shield.
that actually does take up quite a bit of the um leather scraps that we have. Ah well, there's more. Mine will have
I'll
plenty.
say I have some leather scraps currently on me and I'm still hunting. Did I
Okay,
find anything in here? Nope.
trophies. Do we have enough trophies? Oh,
Yeah, we have trophies. I
we have
promise.
trophies. I'm taking 10. That's 5 bosses. We try to go for one today, and then we can get mine, and we can get on and fight another with mine another time.
I think that's a good idea.
And we need to kill 3 or more anyway, because we need the whatchamacallit, the pickaxe, and also the hammer, which I love the hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, what, you want to go to the north one? Sure, we could try that one.
I don't know where the north one is.
In the boundaries where I have explored one of those areas.
Oh, that's helpful.
I mean, it's not a big place.
Define big.
No. Oh, by the way, guess what? I forgot to press record.
Oh no!
It's okay. I can grab it off Twitch. It's fine. So that's gonna be lower quality, but it's all good.
Huh. That does not look like a thing. That looks like another burial site.
You can't get burial sites in the north.
Is that what I'm looking for? Looks like it could be.
Wait, when you say
Or
burial sites, you don't
burial
mean...
site, but I mean, like with the circle of rocks and whatnot.
Yeah, that's Ictio.
Yeah, I found it. I am at one.
See, there's one there, and there's one somewhere in this area here. I'll come over to you
I
then.
found one. And while I'm at it,
Kill deers?
no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Marking it?
I'm trying to.
Good idea.
Go away.
I mean, I didn't think that I had to mark it, given that we already had one not too far off from us as well.
I'm having trouble unmarking it. So that's
right
there
click.
now. Yeah, but I accidentally apparently found some way to mark it with by controller, and now it's all confused, and I'll fix it later.
I forgot you use the controller. You know what?
Yep.
Actually, this is further than the 8th tier we know about.
Well, I found it.
Okay, well, shall we have a go at it?
Absolutely. Let's hope we don't die.
Well, I know I won't die, because I'll be standing from a distance and shooting it.
I will try to tank it.
It's all good, I'm just kidding. Eat up. Ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go! It's time for death!
Oh, no. Where are you going? You're
Where
going
the
over
light's
there.
gathering. What's dodge again? What's dodge again?
I love how there's so much metal going on. What's up, dear bro? I can't hit it. We need to get it out of the water. Come on. Come on. Stop being in the water.
I think he's pretty easy. We got him 1/4 down already.
Yeah, but I can't hit him while he's in the water.
And I'm using crab arrows. I forgot to bring the good arrows with me.
Come on. Get out of the water. Let it chase us over here for a minute. There we go. Yep.
Did you manage to stun it? No, did you parry it? You can parry it.
Yeah, I know I can parry it. But I'm almost out of stamina.
Well, he's almost out of health.
There we go.
That was easier than I expected.
Welcome for the spear. The spear is great days. Great days spear.
Both are pretty great too.
That's true. I absolutely love bows. I normally use those, but
well, so
return to the sacrificial stone. Do we have time to do one more? Nope.
Sure, we can do one more. I mean, it only took us what, 2 minutes? We can do one more and do a third when mine is here. That way, she might hop on off camera after this.
We'll do it then. That's all right. Okay.
Too late.
I shouldn't. Where is he going to spawn?
Where the light is gathering.
There you are. Yeah, I know, but I was looking for it. Want to get him out of the stupid water. Come on, elk bro.
You know,
come on.
Honestly, Ichthir is like, out of all the bosses I've seen so far, Ichthir feels like the most dramatic one. If you get what I mean. All the lightning and thunder and everything.
Oh, the plant bro is pretty...
I don't know, plant bro is just a big giant lumbering around. There wasn't all these dark skies, thunder and everything.
I mean, there's the tendrils of poison death.
But those actually do damage, unlike this giant piece of venison.
Delicious. Actually, he wouldn't have been deer, he would have been elk. Which is not the same thing as venison. Delicious. But not the same thing.
So what would elk taste like compared to... Is it closer to beef?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. There we go. Okay,
and with that, I think we are done for today. A quick usual shameless plugs.
So don't forget to check out EIF, of course, on hostednovel.com, as well as Apex War God, the new novel that I am working on.
And so am I.
And that is also on hosted. And so is Dragon. He is the manager. And you can check that out on Hosted Novel as well. Both have chapters available for free. Also, if you're interested in what I have been working on, you can take a look on Amazon for The Power of 10, The First Day Part 1. That is being published by Morpheus Key Publishing, so feel free to check that out. And I think that's all my plugs.
Alright, and if you're on YouTube, check out all the links down in the description below. Like, subscribe, ding the bell, and if you're on Twitch, click the follow, come in for notifications. And if you're on YouTube as well, right below on the description is also a list of playlist, and I've added one, it's not a list of playlists, but there is a playlist over there, one for Valheim specifically, and I made a new playlist making out of all the stream vlogs where we talk about Chinese culture. If you are only interested in listening to the Chinese culture stuff, go through that playlist. Everything that has Chinese culture is all filtered into one playlist for you guys in the correct order. And with that, I think that's all the time we have for today, and we shall see you guys next time. Ciao, guys!
See ya!